Okay, I'm very excited about this video. I'm very excited about this video because I love books. I love books to the point that it's actually very scary. Um, to the point that people are my mom thinks it's really weird. Um, I read a lot. I tend to like books more than I like going outside. I would rather read in my room. So I wanted to show you, I don't know if you could see, but I wanted to show you all the books that I got from the library. I got from the library because I just, well, I moved down to Miami to go to school earlier this year, and my last library let me check out 50 books at a time, even though I never really got that far. But this library in Miami actually lets me check out 50 books too. So I kind of went crazy. I tend to pick up books more books than I need to, because I can read a book, like a thick book like this, in like a day if I'm really into it. The longest time it'll take me to read a 500-page book is 2 days. So yeah, I'll get to those later though. So I wanted to talk about some books that I got. So the first book that I got is Steve Barry, The Charlemagne Pursuit. I actually met Steve Barry at a book signing, or a book discussion that he had in Jacksonville, because one of his books, The Templar Legacy, was the book we read for my English 101 class. So we had to meet him for extra credit, and he is the most amazing, intelligent person I've ever met. He's a lawyer, so it was pretty interesting to see him write a book that, or books that have to do a lot with religion, and it's not just like, oh, Jesus came from and this and that, whatever. The Templar Legacy was basically finding the Holy Grail, and the Holy Grail ended up being like Jesus's bones, which would go against Christian religion if people found out that, you know, he didn't really, you know, rise from the dead and go to heaven. But that's Templar Legacy. But this one is The Charlemagne Pursuit, and this book is one of many in the Cotton Malone series. And I think this one, I've only started it like a couple days ago, but I've been in school, so I haven't been able to read. And this one's about him finding out what really happened to his father, because his father died in the submarine sinking. So that's pretty interesting. I'm very excited about that book. The next book I have is called Again by Shannon Cullors, and I really like interracial romances, because I date interracially. I can't even talk. And so this one is pretty interesting. It's about this black girl and this white guy are attracted to each other because something in the past, like they've never really met, but they felt like they've met. So I don't know exactly what it's about. I don't know if it has to do with past lives or anything, but that'd be pretty interesting. Oh, it's gonna be really good. Okay. Then I have this one book. It's also an interracial book I was recommended, called What White Boys Want. And I know it's a very direct title, but I had read a book by Ceresia Glass. I wasn't really a big fan of it. It was okay. But I'm pretty interested in this because I've never heard of these other writers, and they're supposed to be big deals, so maybe it's going to be good. Then I have Wake and Gone by Lisa McMahon, and it's basically book 1 and book 3. I actually put on hold book 2, but it hasn't gotten to me yet, so I'm going to read book 1 first and then let book 3 sit in the corner of my room until I get book 2. But I was also recommended these books. I don't know exactly what it's about. I just knew that I liked the covers. So once I find out what it's about, I'll talk to you about it, because I'm going to put a review on each of the books that I read. So, Then I have, that I put in my other video some vampire books. I'm not a really big young adults reader, but the only reason why I have young adults right here, UCC books, is because they're shorter and I can read them in between my classes and it won't take me a long time to finish. So this one is chosen by PC Cast and her daughter Kristen Cast. PC Cast wrote this series called Goddess Awakening. I think that's what it's called. It was a Goddess Awakening series, and it was just so awesome. It was probably a really, really good series about females, just mortal females, switching places with these goddesses. Persephone and Hades, that book was one of my favorite books that she's written. But this one, I guess, is a vampire book as well. It's a House of Night series, so people go, ooh, 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 House of Night, so I decided to try that out. Another one that I have is Vampire Academy, which is also a young adults book by Rochelle Mead, and people go buck wild over this too. So the thing is, like, there's only so much, vampire things I can take. After Twilight, I was like, even though Breaking Dawn was the best out of this whole Twilight series, I can't really handle the whole in love with the vampire, and the girl who's in love with him is extremely weak as a person. If you're going to be dating a vampire, you need to be extremely strong in mind and spirit. So I don't think you need to be, oh, save me, Edward, save me. Screw you. Go save yourself. That's what you should say. Then I have Just Between Us by Kathy Kelly, and I saw this book just sitting up there. It's about these Irish girls, the Miller girls, who are supposedly living, the perfect life to people, but there's some secrets behind the doors and they're not really happy. So that's going to be pretty interesting. I hope it's like a comedy. I love those. Then I have Only Pleasure by Laura Lee, and I will admit that I do like romance novels, or when I like erotica. It's just very interesting to read. I was just told Laura Lee is really good. She does the Breed series. I haven't read any of those, but they kind of say like she's like Shayla Black, so I am in love with Shayla Black. You need to read her Wicked series. That's like, whew, you'd be like, whew, mister. Okay, that's the kind of books that you want to read. Or if you're going to be reading romance novels, you kind of want to be like, okay. Then I have these by Melissa Marr, Wicked Lovely and Ink Exchange. They have to do with the fairy world, and it's also young adults. So it should probably take me like a day to read it. So it'll probably take me from like 9 p.m. to midnight to finish a book. So hopefully it'll be good. But they have to do with like fairyland. So what happens when you actually talk to fairies when you know you're not supposed to. Never talk to fairies. They're evil. Then I have another Steve Barry book, which is the next installment after the Charlemagne Pursuit. It's called The Paris Vendetta, and this is his newest book, I think. So you don't understand how much I love Steve Barry. Like, I love Steve Barry. Love Steve Barry. So hope this is gonna be good. We'll see. And then I have this one by Janet Evanovich called Finger Lickin' 15, and this is probably out of the Jacksonville library and the Miami library. This book is like the #1 on hold. Like, you don't understand how many requests this book has. But I was able to find it before somebody else grabbed it. I don't know what it's about. All I know is that it's a very popular read, and I've never heard of Stephanie Plum, but I heard that she's crazy and very funny. It's book 15 out of the series. I didn't even know there was a series, so if I like this one, I'm gonna keep going back. I'll probably get 16 because 16 just came out, and then I'll go 14 and 13 and go down into the first one. Or maybe I'll just find the first one and build up. We'll see. Okay, now we're going to be getting into the 2 books that I bought